nionyeshwe, dredi zangu zisokotwe, shingo ni masajiwe, nasanifiwa, naroliwa, kisha navutishwa, 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 moshi pia napuliziwa, navutishwa, navutishwa, naishi kama paka nalishwa, navutishwa, navutishwa, haya mapenzi sijalipishwa, navutishwa, navutishwa mama, navutishwa, navutishwa mama, kuamka kung'ara na kukaa tu, kula mahaba ya kistaarabu, na tabasamu bila sababu, kitandani nafunzwa adabu, kukaa kukaliwa, kulala kulaliana na kulaliwa, maisha ya gorofa, nikitoka kitandani naruka kwa sofa, wifi imelipiwa nadekezwa upara na papaswa nabembelezwa natulizwa uso nakaliwa nasanifiwa, naroliwa, kisha navutishwa mama, navutishwa, navutishwa, moshi pia napuliziwa, navutishwa, navutishwa, naishi kama paka nalishwa, navutishwa, navutishwa, haya mapenzi sijalipishwa, navutishwa, navutishwa mama, navutishwa, navutishwa mama.
Fresh is on the beat.
Yeah. This is the Midnight Rendezvous. I hope you guys are tuned in. It's a lovely night to have you guys and your company right here, right now, tonight on Radio 254. For those who are listening on the spaces, I hope you guys, it's the first time I'm actually doing this, and I hope you guys get to enjoy the experience as if you're right here, right now with me. For those who want to stream on other platforms, we have the app, Radio 254 app, or you can stream from any other platform. Just look for Radio 254. There's YouTube, there's Facebook, there's Twitch, there's Twitter. There's a video version of this show that you guys can get to enjoy just the same way. What I can tell you is tonight is bound to be a lovely night. What I have planned for you is a lot of fun, is a lot of intriguing conversations. As you can see from the title, those who are on spaces, it's all about love languages, all about the kings, and every fun bit you need to know about them. And I'd like you to join in on the conversation in every which way you can. It's I can't even explain to you. Probably you've had these discussions before, and I promise it's probably going to be a little bit different this time. There's going to be probably a twist here and there, and I'm welcoming all kinds of feedback and even voice notes. Our number is 0110-254-254. If you wish to send anything anonymously, I promise I'll keep you anonymous. So tonight, let's take a moment for everyone who's tuned in and loving the show from wherever you're listening from. I know sometimes most of you are not exactly, the freshest you can be all day. I know most of you would want to have a breathable night, a night that you can just enjoy, probably with some music in your ears, probably with a whiskey in your hand, and just let the night roll as it comes. Let's just, for those who have been working all day, let's take a moment to, wind down, relax after a long day. You as the listener will be able to request for any songs that will help you unwind and get ready for a great show ahead, and hopefully help you into a peaceful night's sleep. Remember, you can always WhatsApp us on 0110-254-254 or reach us on Radio 254 online on Twitter. So join the conversation by calling in, texting in. The hashtag is Midnight Rendezvous. It's a beautiful night, isn't it? On my way here, I noticed it's proper cloudless. And if the night right now is this beautiful, there's a probable chance that the morning will be just as beautiful too. I'll want to, delve into your thoughts, delve into your minds. And if you have anything, any opinion you'd want to air, you can always speak up. And if you'd want me to, play you live, I can get to play you live, and I get to hear what thoughts you have. What intrusive thoughts do you have when you get to hear everything that we've planned for you? First of all, man, I really like it that for most of the nights that I come here, I get to have the freedom to tug at the heartstrings of your hearts. There's people who've always been listening. There's people who've always wanted to know, Wagwan Niaje, how do I get to hear? Or how do I get to join your show? And it's pretty simple, by the way, for those who've just joined us. You can join on Radio 254 on all platforms, video platforms, that is, on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. It's streaming. It will just have my face right there. It'll have my face right there. And I'd like to just start you off nice and easy. Just something to get you all relaxed, calm down, and ready to face the night as it is. And enjoy yourself as we get into talking about love languages, sex languages, pretty much what we'd call them, kinks. Enjoy the night.
Me, I keep it fresh on. Me, I keep it fresh, all day. Fresh all day, fresh all day, it's all cool. Fresh all day.
Think you can handle Count Moolah.
I come correct, and you're my swag so official like I'm the ref. See, I be rockin' Louis, so shorties wanna do me. Have all these haters feeling so underdressed. I see you mugging me, but I ain't mugging back. Cause I ain't got time for your chitty chat. Why you tryna copy and paste me? I'll be with your broad like butter on pastry. She's on my arm like my Virgin Mary. And we be on that weed from early. OG, smoking by the OZ. And all she wanna see is a couple emojis. Well, I got money to blow. And shorty, I ain't trippin', so you already know. Camp Moolah all day. If you want it, gon' pay. Hater, I'm just letting you know that
all I know is swagger.
Me, I keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Me, I keep it fresh all day, it's all cool.
Put your hands up if you have some.
Cause you keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Cause you keep it fresh all day, it's all cool.
okay, my life is not the same, and I know who to blame. If I remember the name, it sounded something like fame. For the money, for the game, I would kill it.
No shame.
Rep a crew that's untamed, and I'm a dude that's maintained. Swagger so right as Frank. 20 big Benjamin sitting in the bank. What you think? I've been working hard, numbers agree. So please believe me, this is easy, born to be an MC. So I took one Nairobi, the swagger strong only. 24 hours round the clock, Wani. The Levi's store know me. Big up Ryo and Fuzzy. Now I'm fresh shorty,
day, nikichapa kazi.
Boys be looking at P, this ever sloppy, Lucy, Kibaki, LOL.
Yeah,
I'm only messing, I'm just digging the jam. Bumping it with my fam, Chuck Taylor's helping me stand, let go.
All I know is swagger.
me, I keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Me, I keep it fresh all day, it's all cool.
Put your hands up if you have some.
Cause you keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Cause you keep it fresh all day, it's all cool.
I said we on to be their favorite. Mula team pacing, further than the basement, higher than the spaceship. NASA couldn't race this, rockets couldn't chase this. Swagger on vintage, African Fresh Prince, flying like the Jetsons, higher than the Jeffersons. Moving on up till they can't get enough of us. Now we at the top, better use your binoculars. Swagger non-stop is what you do if you have some. And I'm just getting started. Ever seen a Kenyan boy trying to go harder? You gotta work for your profit, cause everybody's trying to get paid in Nairobi. I think your swagger need coaching. Fresh all day, it's all cool by the ocean. Swagging down in South Coast, you could say we coasting. High grade glowing, super flowing. Damn.
All I know is swagger.
Me, I keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Me, I keep it fresh all day, it's all cool.
Put your hands up if you have some.
Cause you keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Cause you keep it fresh all day, it's all cool. Fresh all day, 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 it's all cool. Fresh all day, fresh all day, it's all cool. Fresh all day, fresh all day, it's all cool. Welcome to Funky Town. Welcome to Funky Town. Welcome to Funky Town. MG is the welcome to.
And I'm really feeling this lifestyle. I chose no buts, so ifs, shoves or kicks. Ever could break me down, girls with cribs tryna have babies, how did this change so fast? Only last year I was trapped in the class. Mindset on passing my eyes on the cash. Scored straight A's and got paid in advance, nigga. It comes natural, actually. Young man, I'm an animal. Dragon Ball Z, drop on, find an antidote. THC to the dome, bring me Haribos. Tail tripper only messing, dressing in the latest clothes that bossy denim, and everybody knows, so get him. That 2-5 flow is winning, winning.
The way you're moving, boy, I can't deny. And it's on tonight, so I'm hoping that you just my type. But anyway, I'm high, so follow me, don't stop.
Welcome to Funky.
We work hard for this. Ain't swinging no shots, but we making hits. They say the game's too insane to stay legit, so we just keep playing as they play our shoot. Not gone too long, but we made a trip, cause I'm trying to do a big F dieting. Jaden Smith, I'm the Karate Kid. Kamula taking off on some rocket shit. Nairobi's got me proper. Take a quick float like Mary Poppins. Hold up, watching. Swag so hard he'd probably be found shopping, copping. Batman need no robbing. Batmobile about 2-3 shot. It's hard, it stop me. I'm going hard like Rocky. Snap back on me, girl, I'm funky.
The way you're moving, boy, I can't deny. And it's on tonight, so I'm hoping that you're just my type. But anyway, I'm high, so follow me, don't stop.
Welcome to Funky.
I got my Jordans for the go and my Nikes for the show. You know I'm fantastic head to toe. Now I am a lady.
This shit is real funny. Niggas were tripping, now they all feeling how me, I keep it real funky. But I ain't tripping, I don't catch feelings. Swag, fresh all day. Nike's on my feet like I'm LeBron James. And I ain't be the Parker, but yeah, I be tripping on that Mary Jane all day. It's ridiculous, TM on the map, so dangerous.
It's so dangerous.
It's so dangerous.
So haters, you're so lame to us. So lame. Young black nigga, tryna run shit like Mike and Thriller. And Nairobi's where come from, G. So if you feel me, welcome to Funky Town.
The way you're moving, boy, I can't deny. And it's on tonight, so I'm hoping that you're just my type. But anyway, I'm hot, so follow me, don't stop.
Welcome to Funky.
The way you're moving, and it's on tonight.
Yeah. Who's taking you to Funky Town tonight? I'm starting us on a very high note with Camp Mula rocking us all the way back to when they were still in their prime. Isn't it just unfortunate how we ended up not hearing from them ever again, except from Karun. Karun actually did the thing on her own, and damn, I don't know if you guys have watched that docu. It's not really a docu. It's more of a behind the scenes. What is it called? I'll find it for you soon. But for now, I hope you guys get to enjoy the night. Kama hujakumbwa kumbana siena wake pia eleke jiwe ama namna gani?
It's your girl SDL. You know how we do. We make it sticky like glue. Michelle, sing it. Oh,
Heshima kwa yudada, jamani ametoka far. Tunawakilisha, and we're taking it back, just taking it back. From this beat we on fire. SDM Inshallah. Tunawakilisha, and we're taking it back, just taking it back.
yo, I'm on my way back home. Already packed my bags, can't wait to get home. Clear everything else away. Don't wanna do nothing else but walk my way. I'm going back to Kenya, back to the fine weather, back to grandma. Ain't nothing else I'd rather sit on the porch and drink grandma's porridge. Talk to my elder, listen while they speak knowledge. Next morning, be on my way to Nairobi. Do another song, bait, now they all know me. Yeah, magazines can write all kinds of bullshit, but let me tell you this, SDL will always do this. Lift your hands, swing them around like $1,000,000. Make sure everybody here know what's up. It's been a while now, finally I'm coming home. We the perfect beat, go ahead and shake it off.
Heshima kwa yudada, jamani ametoka far. Tunawakilisha, and we're taking it back, just taking it back. From this beat we on fire. SDM Inshallah. Tunawakilisha, and we're taking it back, just taking it back.
I've been around, seen a few things, learned a couple new things, been through good and bad things, learned by how things go. When you got a big dream, can't let go. I'm holding with a good grip. I rap to get close to everything I'm chasing. Do all there is, history in the making. Some call it good work, some call it time wasting. Some wish me good luck, but some will love to see me fade. But on my way back home, I don't wanna stress. I just wanna lay down, watch the sunset. Hang around with my cousins, we be chillin', man. Turn the volume up on this, we be cruising, man. SDL, baby, knew this time to come, that I would take this back to where I'm from. Throw your fist in the air if you feel this. People here show love, cause this the place.
Heshima kwa yudada, jamani ametoka far. Tunawakilisha, and we're taking it back, just taking it back. From this beat we on fire. SDM Inshallah. Tunawakilisha, and we're taking it back, just taking it back.
much to Radio 254, the home of Kenyan music. You're listening to Midnight Rendezvous, and the topic of the day majorly will be the love languages that you'd love to receive or give, or the sex languages, which are commonly known as kinks to most people. I'd like you guys to, chime in, share, even if you're feeling shy or whatever. Just when the time comes, I hope you guys will, get to give me a few tidbits on how you want to be loved, how you'd love to be loved. I don't know if I'm making it very clear, but some people seem not to understand what exactly a love language is, and I'd like to define it for you just before we delve very deeply into it. Love languages are pretty much the things you'd love to do to your person, or the things you'd love to receive, the way you'd like to feel loved by your person. Can go two ways, and that's actually how I think most of relationships work. I feel like it has to be that nipe nikupe kind of thing, or kama wewe si ule wa ku receive, because some people like receiving, not necessarily gifts, because that's been grossly mistaken to be materialistic at the very least. It's just the giving ile, even emotionally, you find that someone will always be there for you, someone will always want the best for you, and they'll always show up for you in ways that you didn't imagine. Like, say, for instance, if you mentioned on your talking stage that coffee gets you less cranky, and they get you the finest Colombian coffee, or maybe our own here, even some Arabica or Robusta. I don't know which one is the one that comes from Kenya, by the way. If you guys can correct me, please do. Arabica is the one for Ethiopia, right? even if you don't remember, really, it's just, I feel like it's the message behind that coffee. It's not necessarily to have to be an expensive coffee. It's probably a coffee that you even like, that you probably mentioned, and they remembered to get it for you. It's just beautiful to see that unravel. It's beautiful to see it for you and for maybe the person that you care about. And hata kama huyu mtu anapenda fruits, if you go out of your way and get them fruits, heck, that will be easily qualified as a love language. So as you prep up on what you feel love languages are, I'm receiving your feedback on 0110-254-254 or on Radio 254 online on Twitter. And I hope you guys are cozy, warm, and feeling safe and winding down with me as we get through the night.
Nimegombana na my baby, hataki kuongea na baby, anasema I'm running her crazy. Ongeza volume, ukiongeza volume, anaanza kucheza kidogo, anaanza kugeuza yo kiuno, shida zetu kupunguza uzito, anaanza kusonga na mdundo, she can't resist it, ni kifungo, cheki kile ana move is a hits bro, sasa tumeweka bifu kando. Ongeza volume, 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 DJ ongeza volume, ongeza volume, DJ ongeza volume. Hey, mpenzi wangu anachanga kununa, akisikiza ngoma noma zinachuna, ni kama beats and I'm hypnotized, na shida zetu zina minimalize. I love the way she move, I love the way she dancing, I can tell like how tonight we be romancing. I love the way we make up with me, girl, this love is a strong thing. I love the way she move, I love the way she dancing, I can tell like how tonight we be romancing. I love the way we make up with me, girl, this love is a strong thing. Nimegombana na my baby, hataki kuongea na mimi, anasema I'm driving her crazy. Ongeza volume, 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 DJ ongeza volume, ongeza volume, DJ ongeza volume, ongeza volume. Cheza tu kidogo, cheza tu kidogo mama, cheza tu kidogo, cheza tu kidogo mama, kidogo mama, kidogo mama. mama, kidogo mama, kidogo mama, kidogo mama, kidogo mama, kidogo mama, oh mama, zimemchanganya, oh mama, zimemchanganya, oh mama, zimemchanganya, hizo beats unacheza DJ.
A main switch production.
Zimemchanganya DJ, ongeza bomo, zimemchanganya bomo, yo 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 yo, zimemchanganya, yo 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 yo, zimemchanganya.
Yeah. That one was another lovely banger from Nameless. Came out 5 years ago, but still some people were quite oblivious of it. I'd like to give a personal shout out to everyone who spared their precious, probably last 2 hours of the day to hang out with me. And I'm grateful for making the Midnight Rendezvous your show, the show where you get to, share your opinion. Or if you don't get to share your opinion, you get to hear your opinion voiced. That's if you're, too shy or just you can't find the right words for it. It's a beautiful night to hang out with you guys, and I'm grateful for making the Midnight Rendezvous great. This is Radio 254, home of Kenyan music. I think you guys will need to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as we delve into the mysterious and explained Midnight Rendezvous with me, your host Adrian Kibai. You see, the thing is, I feel like it's great that you guys will want to hear me rant all night and just talk about nothing and everything in particular. Even though, of course, sometimes you end up digressing, even if you have actual topics that you need to talk about. So actually, the thing is, I want to also hear your rants. I want to hear how your day was, how your week was. What are you going through? What will you love to get off your chest? What will you want to make sure that the world knows, or even not even the world, you can just send so that it's out there. You can say, hey, I'm sending this, but don't play it, but it's just me venting, me talking about my day, me appreciating the day that I've had so far, considering maybe the previous days have been rough. You see, it's just beautiful how dynamic the different days can be. WhatsApp us on 0110-254-254. And even if you send it to my personal number, if you have it, I'll still be able to receive it. It could even be a simple appreciation for life. Let me just say I wouldn't blame anyone. No one in this economy or weather, to be precise, if they chose to seek the comfort of a sugar mama, by the way. Yeah? Most even get away with having just the sugar and very little of the mama. But hey, to each their own. It doesn't have to be any way written in stone, but unaweza get away with all of these things with vizungu mingi sometimes. We all want love in every which way that we appreciate it, that we want it. And that brings me to how would you like to receive your love? How would you like to be talked to? How would you like to be appreciated? How would you like, what makes you feel loved? It's mind-blowing how a lot of different people will give a lot of different reasons, a lot of different ways it works for them. And good thing is, talking about the sugar mama, even if she's old, of course she will be older, most of the time, right? And there are a few advantages here. You see, she has probably been through enough bullshit to wait for you to get through the awkward phase where you don't know where to put your hands. You know that moment when, it's, for sure probably she wants sex. And as a guy, I can say, by the sometimes you don't know whether it will be disrespectful to, make advances in the wrong way. Then they end up being perceived wrongly. It's just mind-boggling. And good thing is they're experienced in this thing, and they'll take you through it, they'll walk you through it, they'll hold your hand and tell you, you know what, you can put it here. You can do this, you can do this. Most of them are initiators. Don't ask how I know this. That's classified information. Oh, and sometimes, if not all, she only requires you to be a decent human being to her, and just show up for her. So sometimes kids may be involved, yeah. And of course, if you're willing to contend with the bull, you must be prepared for the horns. Ahmad, that's not how people say it. How do people say it? Mtu achoki kama umenunua ndovu uchoki na pembe zake, right? Yeah. I think it's the one or the other. Or if you get to buy an elephant, you have to also buy it with its tusks. So I feel like most people limit themselves in terms of what they really want, especially with the popular bashing of single moms and whatnot. They are people too. They want love too. And sometimes that's all they need from you, you see. That's all they need from you. They don't want your sijui or showing off your 3 shillings and they have spent their entire lives just making themselves and their children comfortable. They just want you to show up and, love them the way they'd want to be loved. And that brings me, to the main topic of the day. How do you want to be loved? How do you love your personal person?
What's what I say? Yeah. Hey, watu wangu, mashida yalinisonga, madeni yakanishinda, nikidhani natafuta suluhisho, karibu nijipate kwa muhadhara. Wachani niwaambie story. Okay. Nilipiga simu kwa rafiki yangu Peter, anipe pesa kama anaweza pata. Pale ambassador akaniambia atapita, nimsubiri atakuja akipata. Nikisubiri gari mzuri kapita, likasonga kando halafu likasimama. Mama tajiri naye akalishuka, akaja kwangu kama anacheka cheka, nikidhani ni shabiki wangu, mimi nikacheka cheka. Akaniambia,
sasa Jimmy Gage, mimi ni sweet mama na nimekutafuta sana ili ukuje uimbe ule wimbo wako wa wakati wa kubarikiwa kwa event yangu. Could you have some time tuende kwa ofisi yangu tuongee?
Yeah, sure.
I can even give you some down payment.
Ooh, great. Niliona Mungu amejibu maombi yangu. Siku sita nikaingia kwa Prado yake. Kanishika mkono kanikalisha kwa kiti, kaniangalia kwa macho na kuniambia,
Jimmy Gates, let me tell you the truth. Si eti nataka uperform, nakutaka wewe, cause I'm so madly in love with you and I want you so bad.
Kanifungulia mfuko mkubwa mweusi, kutizama ndani umejazwa na mapesa. Kaja shoke pesi kanitoka aise, na mwili wangu wote ukatetemeka. Kwa muda mimi nikasita, nikaanza kufikiria mashida zangu. Sauti kwa moyo kaniambia kwatua, nikaanza kuona vile ningetajirika. Gari nzuri, nyumba nzuri, madeni kwisha. Sauti kwa moyo kaniambia kwatua, ningepatwa na muhadhara. Ningepatwa na muhadhara. Ningepatwa na muhadhara. Ningepatwa na muhadhara. Watunge, sweetie mamas, kodonema, no magoteria. Watunge, sweetie daddies, Shikarenado ye keregerero nikaruka kwa ngao nikajipata nje ningepatwa na muhadhara ningepatwa na muhadhara ningepatwa na muhadhara ningepatwa na muhadhara Sweetie mamas, Guadolema, no maroteria. Sweetie daddies, Guadolema, no maroteria. Nilipojipata nje, nikaanza kushukuru Mungu kwa kuniondolea muhadhara. Afadhali pesa za Sweetie mama zikae kuliko nimkosea Mungu jamani. Mara tu hivi nikasikia simu imelia kucheki. Uncle yangu kutoka USA akanipigia akaniambia enda Western Union utoe 80,000 nimekutumia. Hey, nikakimbia nikaenda nikatoa nikaambia shetani ashindwe. Sweetie mamas, Guadolema, no
Where? Have you ever had an experience with a sweet mama, as Jimmy Gate calls them? Have you ever been hit on properly, thoroughly? Wanaume, mko wapi? Have you ever been hit on until to a point where you don't know where to put your hands? It's actually very, very interesting when that power dynamic changes. It shifts real quick, so quick that you don't know, okay, now where do we go from here? Where do I put my hands? What do I do with myself? Shit. Eventually, on that note, please send those voice notes through and let me hear about it all. Of course, it will be anonymously. Thank you for listening to Midnight Rendezvous, wherever you are, on Twitter Spaces, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, whichever it is. Please just look for Radio 254. Some of them will be live video feeds. Some of them will be live audio feeds. Get the app if you need to, hear more from Radio 254 every now and again, and probably every Tuesday right here, right now, with me, Adrian Kibai, on the Midnight Rendezvous. I'd like to now, jump right in and ask you guys, yeah? We'll get back to the Sugar Mama business in a bit. I want you guys, for now, I'd want to know, or rather explore those that are, you see the options we have most of the nights. I'll have to confess, I'm a night owl. I'm someone who prefers to, move with darkness, less hustle, less bustle, less everything, just no traffic jams or whatever. Now is the time when everybody is rested and tired from the day. Now is the time I feel like I'm most active. Yeah. I don't know if there's any night owls in the audience, people who are just even starting out their day even, but are barely functional during the day, barely. As in, if you're functional during the day, it's probably to pay a bill or two or just lounge. And if you happen to be awake during the day, you end up feeling like nothing is really, you see the heat, it's the traffic, you get tired before you even get to do anything. And tonight, this night is for you night owls. I'd like you to tell me, how many times have you been, castigated as lazy or being accused of being lazy every now and again, or just, huyu ako on drugs, ama huyu apendi kufanya kazi, ni mzembe. You see, our moms thoroughly, we get to hear our moms' voices every time we sleep during the day, or our shoshes voices, depending on who raised you. It's unnatural mostly for African parents to understand that for you, your day probably starts at 2 p.m. For you, your day probably starts much later than theirs. They are probably early risers, and by news ya saa tatu, they're sinceering left, right, and center. And they don't get how you're just, bouncing off the walls, very active, trying to figure out now, how am I dealing with this adulting thing? We are wired to believe those who prefer to sleep or rest by day are either lazy, depressed, blah, blah. Actually, depression didn't even clock kitambo. Kitambo, it was just you're lazy. Unataka kulala mchana mzima, watu washa paint nchi. Kwanza, if you sleep up to 10, it's like we all had the same parents. Yeah? If you sleep up to 10, they'll tell you, leo umeamua kulala mpaka saa 9 mchana. You see, now, Probably somebody just wants to listen to Midnight Rendezvous and not sleep through it, you see. And now you're there just castigating them and making them feel shitty about enjoying the night as it is. According to our moms, probably the night owls are devil's agents. You see, the association with this it has come from demonizing even sexual workers. Yeah. Na saa hizo, the reason why mzee labda hata kufika nyumbani mapema is because of those people who work at night. I'm not saying yours did, but sometimes we can't just hide our heads under the sand and think that our parents were not at fault or were never, pursuing their own desires or whatever that is. Everybody has, and do you know the weirdest thing is, now that we're talking about kings and our parents, the weirdest thing is most people get to learn this in the rudest way possible. As in, turns out our kings are hereditary, and and most people tend to think, oh, this is just a unique me, and it scares me that sometimes the things you probably wanted to do just it's only that our parents did it and we never knew about it, or they wanted to do it but were too shy, or the thing was very demonized by their parents as well, and they were told, hiyo ukifanya you're going to hell straight. I'm happy that nowadays we don't fear hell as much as our parents did, because what the hell was that? That was some obsession right there. Man. You see, I really envy how Sonia Pinto wakes up every morning to come. It's probably at 4. She gets to roll out of the bed, come and do that morning show with you guys at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., just talking to you guys, talking live to you guys. And you see, every time I listen to what she has to say, I'm usually, damn, probably some people are really morning people, because sometimes you find that by the time I'm talking your ear off at this point, you're sleepy. I get adulting, right? But then again, if you're one of those people who are night owls, today's the day you've indicated. Today is the day that you get to feel like you're a normal human being, a proper functional human being. You're probably not even stressed or depressed or whatever. You're just going on about your day like anybody else would, just at unconventional hours, if I may say, because you're probably working all night, so you get to sleep all day. There goes. So I prefer being up all night, by the way. If 4 a.m. finds me awake, then so be it. I won't roll out of bed to purposely wake up for something at 4 a.m. unless it's paying me. Or the other thing, the other thing that involves two adults, two consenting adults, Morning Glory has a way of making you a morning person in the oddest of ways. So I'm posing this question to you. When are you most active? What are your active hours? Mine are from 2 p.m. Mine is from 2 p.m. by the way. From 2 p.m. you'll think I've probably just woken up, but you'll think I've drunk Red Bull or something or an energy drink, yeah? So if you work at night, because watu wengi hata prefer night shift. I used to work somewhere where if they gave me a night shift, I'd be, the person who would make the roster would make my week, because I know there's 4 nights that I'll just be chilling at the office, properly active, very productive. I'll give the company probably 150%, as opposed to if they put me on the morning shift and I have to wake up at 5, prepare, then get to, god damn. I don't know about you guys, but what are the passive activities for those people in night shifts that keep them going in the background? Some is music, by the way. Some it's probably a movie playing in the background that you're not watching. Probably have watched 10 times, but you just want to hear that dialogue. And that's okay too. If it keeps you going, that's fine, because people during the day also do just about the same things, only they do them by day. And it's probably something you want to do every Tuesday. Listen to me here, rant about the day, and just get on with it. But yeah, whatever it is, don't be shy. Talk to me. We are receiving your messages on 0110 254 254. If you have my personal number, you can text it. If you have my DM, come through. Share with me what do you like doing during the night. Either even if it's just listening to Midnight Rendezvous, I'll take it. I'll take the win and move on with it. All right. So talk to me.
Kisha wananiambia mimi ni malaika, ninawapendeza wote, wananiwaza, siwezi wakata njaro zao manufaa. He's trying to blind you girl, he don't really love you. Usidanganyike, umwambie ajikate. Roho yako waza kwanza, wapi tofauti yake na sina noma naye. Usimpe roho yako waza kwanza, wapi tofauti yake na sina noma naye.
So many times I told you I'm the type of guy you'll never find messing around with your mind, alright. But ever since I've been away, you acting like I wanna play. Do you know how you make me feel?
Usimpe roho yako waza kwanza, wapi tofauti yake na sina noma naye. Usimpe roho yako waza kwanza, wapi tofauti yake na sina noma naye.
Sigara kwa wingi na gnagda tu, atiwe kukua na mita kuwa blanda juu. Mekuwa bad boy ever since standard 2, kutapa watoi mateke hadi na ganda mguu. Lakini ajui ya mfaidi, akikuambia mini roughneck bad boy ndo unanipenda zaidi. Kila roho yako imechagua ishachagua, na hiyo ni kitu nikushua, hata yeye mwenye anajua ni Shinski. Baby una smell fresh kama lavender na cherry, sinikuite Mariah jua vile umecarry. Ring kwenye belly na smile ya Halle Berry, matake ya ni like since ni cheki koteli. Jumi wanga juu ya maji jo kama ferry, ni wanga magushi na sedusa hata medusa. Na gusa kibusa anapata magusa, 9 inches kwa boxers abas baby.
Usimpe roho yako waza kwanza, wapi tofauti yake na sina noma naye. Usimpe roho yako waza kwanza, wapi tofauti yake na sina noma naye.
This year's getting critical, intale kichuo and physical. Nipe nafasi, nipe hii interval, nikuoneshe loving is unbeatable. Na wambie wasintafie, tuende nyumbani baby tusinzie. Nikupe detu ima kwa kalenda, nikupe agenda kupenda bogi benda.
Nimetia bidii bana sikubali, ukinikatana chenja best yako kwani mtu wa nguvu kamili, siwezi kabila manzi, siwezi kwa kila siku najisikizia ndani kwa ndani. Nipe roho yako, nipe kila kitu yako, shika maua ringia beste zako, shika halua kulisha beste zako.
Usimpe roho yako waza kwanza, wapi tofauti yake na sina noma naye. Usimpe roho yako waza kwanza, wapi tofauti yake na sina noma naye. Usimpe roho yako waza kwanza, wapi tofauti yake na sina noma naye.
Bringing you Umenitosha. Who else feels some type of way when this song comes on, yeah? Jesus. You don't even know. 5 minutes and 32 seconds have run out. I think Polaris' rent was due. Where? The thing she did with this song is just something beyond amazing. I can't even describe it. And of course, Prince KB. Thank you for helping our girl. Thank you for helping our girl, you see, reach her properest. How do you say it better? Her most proper potential. As in, she picked on this one. She picked. I don't know if you differ. Please show me a song that Polaris has done, probably better or equal to this one. You are listening to Midnight Rendezvous with Adrian Kibai here on Radio 254, the home of local music. Local here, I'm referring to Kenyan. You see, local can also be continental. We can do purely African, but on this night, this show, this station, Radio 254, we are doing always Kenyan music. That one there, right there, ilikuwa half cast. Prince KB is South African, but you get the gist, yeah? Oh my. The night has gone so well so far, and I'm appreciating all of you who've stayed up with me. Yes, you at home, you wherever you are, you've stayed up with me just to hear me, rant about the day, rant about everything and anything at any given point. And unfortunately, it has come to my attention that most of us still don't understand or barely know what love languages are, much less what sex languages are. You see, that's the problem right there. We just go and do what comes to us naturally. Well, that's okay. Very okay. Sometimes it's good to be intentional. Sometimes it's good to know, to have that small self-awareness that tells you, hey, if I don't receive it this way, it doesn't mean they didn't hear me the first time or they didn't want to give it to me. Sorry, I've mixed up my wording there. If they're not offering you what you've always, exclaimed about or subtly mentioned, hey, Niaje, I usually love it when you do this, or love it when you do that, or love it when you give me this, or love it when you get me, flowers. A stalk of a flower is 30 bob, and unless time ya root of vitu zimepanda, a stock has always been 30 bob. If you get her 10, that's 300 bob, and you've made her day. You probably even just have to pass by somewhere and carry them home. Nowadays, people have already arranged the bouquets for you. All you have to do is pick. You can say, hey, Niaje, florist, please arrange lilies for me. Arrange roses for me. Which color? Red. Blue. Which other color do they come in? Pink or some? Yeah, whichever color that you choose, this guy can totally even deliver. If you are a florist, you can plug yourself in right now. That's cool by me, but I feel like a lot of people complicate all of these things. It's almost as difficult as finding out what your talent is. And damn, do you know, even right now, if I ask you, do you know what you can do so effortlessly? I was thinking about this when I was showering, when somehow there's those not really mundane, that they're just quite uninteresting to the uneducated eye, or to the untrained eye rather. But there's things that you might be able to do that you find that other people can't really do them, or they can't do them as well as you do. And you think, everybody does this, yeah? That's one way of finding out that you have a talent. You see, most of the people in our family barely sing, but heck, there's me with my karaoke night. You see, that's one way to just discover yourself in the different little things you do out there. You might find that you can whistle on tune. Some of us can whistle on tune or do anything in tune, but when it comes to kupiga ile binja ya makanga, we cannot do jack shit. Binja ya makanga sijui watu wachache sana huweza kufanya hiyo kitu. It's also, I'd say, a talent is something you do very effortlessly, almost as if it's second nature, almost as if you never really need to train for it. And if you have one of those, then you probably also have love languages that you need taken care of. You need handled. You need, if someone tells you, for instance, they appreciate gifting or they like to gift a lot, what do you do as a person who's usually awkward when receiving gifts? You see, most people don't even know how to receive gifts. Sometimes people feel like it has to be transactional. That, hey, Niaje, I've brought you this stupid thing I made by hand, and I hope you appreciate it. It's probably something you've really liked, or some character, some origami that they do, and it's a character that you love on TV probably, and it's a sweet gesture. It just means they pay attention. But then again, you feel like, oh, you have to one up them and get them a gift. They don't want a gift. Probably their love language is not a gift. But have you paid attention enough to find out? Have you listened to them? Have you seen their actions? Have you read how they receive different kinds of languages? Even if you never asked, even if the communication between you two is shitty, I think there's a way you can read the room every time one or two love languages is introduced. Either one is good for you or one isn't. If you don't know yet, you are one lucky bastard to stay with that person. Anyway, I'd say it's almost as easy as finding your talent, but then again, most people also don't know their talents, even at their big age. Yeah. So I'll read to you some of the love languages that I'll briefly just, browse through them. One of them is gifts, the one I've talked about. Yeah. I've told you the dynamics. Just learn what your person loves and, spoil them if you're a spoiler. Or once upon a time, go out of your way. It also means something when they know for sure this one is not a gifter, but on this day he really put some thought into it. Kutoa ni moyo, si utajiri, unajua. They put their mind into it just to get you that thing that you've always wanted or that thing that you always adore, and it doesn't mean it costs much or little, or it's probably priceless at this point once love has been injected into it. Another one is acts of service. Acts of service is, you see, how people love things done for them, how people love to be taken care of, the way Cardi B will say it, how people love to receive their love in this way is maybe prepare them a meal, hold their hand while they're walking down the stairs, those things. Yeah. You see where I'm going with this. It's probably very, very inexpensive money wise, because most people view these things in the lens of how is it affecting my pocket. Then I feel like people who do that, they have their personality ends where their money ends. And that's quite a dangerous thing to have. That's quite a dangerous way to live. In all honesty, money ends. So at some point, however long your money is, kuna vitu pesa haiwezi kukuokoa from. Of course, you'll buy your apology, but you can only buy it for so long, right? Quality time. Quality time ni mmekadl, mmeshikana, mmetembea pamoja, you took a walk together, you took a drive together, you've gone for a dinner date here and there, you've just spent quality time, building something together, talking about things, random things, or even making TikToks nowadays, as I see it, as ick as it might be, as much of an ick as it might be to most people. I feel like these are people who are just trying to explore their love languages, and most of it is most people might bond over the child they created. For these people, probably their child is their production. And if you think about it that way, you find that some people are actually very good at partnering up with people that that are like-minded, who would want to support them in their thing. And even if not direct support, you're just cheering your guy on and letting them be their best selves in your presence. And that, for me, I feel like it's quality time. The other one is words of affirmation. Words of affirmation are purely the power you speak into your person, the life you speak into your personal person, the way you say you love them, the way you say you love them too, the way you read quickly the mood around the house and just decide, you know what, let me squash this before it gets too far. Affirm them, tell them, hey, kuna watu wanataka kusikia every day that, hey, niaje, I love you very much. It has not changed since yesterday, and if it has, I will update you. You see, it's barely even 10 words, is it? I didn't count. But there's people who will want to just hear it from you, hey, yesterday. I know you felt some type of way about this. Thank you very much for, staying through the whole thing, however excruciating it might have been for you, or uncomfortable, or whatever you read from them, and then have them express themselves and then affirm them in the ways that they'd love to be affirmed. Of course, everybody has their own way that they'd like to be reaffirmed. And you see, it stems from, we accept the love that is almost familiar to us. That might be dangerous too, because if you find that someone who is accepting the love that is very familiar, the most familiar to them, you find that, say for instance, if it comes on the if they come from a well-adjusted family, by well-adjusted here I mean, hey, their moms assured them, their parents always affirmed them, they always showed up for them, did all these things for them. The root, in my opinion, and it's the humblest, I stand to be corrected, but of course I feel like the root of all love languages is how we were raised, how we were taught to what love is, because the first love we always receive is from our parents, and we are quite impressionable at that age. You'd want to open your kid up. If now I'm talking to if I'm talking to any parent out there, you'd want to open your kid up to, the different forms of positive love that they'd receive out there. But then again, if you find that you are raised in a household where when you're beaten up for a mistake, you're told ni makosa tunachapa, and then when you get into an abusive home, you end up accepting the fact that huyu anichapi mimi, in fact asiponichapa ndio hanipendi. Have you ever heard of those? I hate those tropes, man. And most of these people, it's just unfortunate, to be honest. And you find that that might be their love language. In fact, kwanza ukimchapa ndio anambao vizuri. Yeah, unamkula bare hivi, not in the sexy way, please. The life endangering way. Kwanza saa hizo ndio and you've also, of course, probably experienced one of those guys who ukianza kulia and you're ranting about something they did or your day. That's when you see them properly getting turned on, and it's very strange to see. But hey, the outcome is still the same. But it all depends on how this person that you are listening to rant all day receives their love. If they like to be dicked down after rant, just don't talk, just drop the pants real quick. If they like it that way, sawa. Yeah, they'll feel hard, and heck, there's a nut at the end of the road for them. Haya, physical touch. You see, for those who don't like PDA, this might be coming as a shock to you, but there's people who actually prefer physical touch as a form of love, and it's very reassuring. Have you ever been touched and you knew exactly who touched you? I'm saying this as someone who appreciates a lot of physical touch. I don't like being touched by everyone. I like it when only specific people can just access even my personal, you see, the personal space, say 1 inch away from you. I'm not 1 inch, rather 1 foot away from you. 1 foot away from you is too much intrusion, maybe, or very little. Some of you might be huggers out there. Some of you might be, very coddling and loving and all that. While I might be all that, you find that someone who appreciates physical touch, unapata, they probably don't like to be touched by everybody, because touch means so much to them, and it has to have that oomph. And then again, you find that I won't do a deep dive on. I don't want to do a deep dive on what causes all of these things to come up the way I've done with the other ones, but let me just brief through them. Yeah, physical touch is a very key thing, and if your person loves it, please hold them, and hold them very tight, especially on these cold nights. Communication is another thing. Communication is key. Some people like to be told, hey, sawa now tumeamka, this is the plan for the day. I won't be able to talk to you all day, but no, you'll be on my mind. My phone will be away probably, or I'll be in a meeting all day, but you'll be on my mind somewhere. And I want you to know I'm not ignoring you. I will be with you, or I'll be in touch with you as soon as I'm free of my obligations of the day. What's so hard about that? Instead of ghosting all day, I fucking hate ghosters. fuck, ghosts. Wakae huko na ibilisi mwenzao. Communication is a very, very as in it's seriously important, and it even culminates all of these love languages in the sense that at some point you'll have to communicate your love language, either by body language or verbally. Expression of affection or love. There's people who want to be told I love you all day. You see the way our parents get weirded out when we tell them we love them. It was cute when we were growing up and all that. Probably we didn't even say it. Yeah, most of us were raised the hardy way. If you're fed, dressed, and sheltered, you are loved. Just know that we are good. Yes, done. I feel like if we come from such households, ni ngumu sana upate mse ameshinda kila siku akikukumbusha I love you. I feel it's also contributing in a way to what I talked about on words of affirmation. So expression of affection and love is a very important thing. Some people want to hear it every goddamn day. Hey, I love you. Haija change. Or hey, this is how I feel about when you do this and this and the other and that. And that also brings me to what love languages and sex languages are. When someone expresses their affection or love, I like the way you roll your waist. I like the way you move. I like the way you walk. I like the way you curve your lips when you're smiling about something you really like. Or I like it when I like the facial expression on you when you're disgusted by something. Some people really look cute when they're pouting, You just want to make them mad so that they can look cute and you can make it up to them. And I just don't know. But then again, you guys tell me, what do you feel is your love language, or even a kink or a sex language? It doesn't have to be intense or, lewd or anything. Just something that you can share with us and tell us, hey, this is how I like to be loved. hey. Ah, man. That was another throwback from Nameless. Beautiful music right there. So mtu wako akifanya nini ndio unanoki? Mtu wako akifanya nini ndio you feel, okay, this is exactly what I signed up for. This is exactly how I want it to be done now. And heck, forevermore, if you're about to risk it all, just go for it. Go for it. It's cold in the streets. It's rough. It's hectic. Oh my, you don't want to be there.
Go. Love it up, give me. Rough it up, make it easy. Let me know, mislead me. Touch me. Go.
Take it low, break it down now. Roll it up and be real. It's been a while, you've been around now. But you were turning up and be oh yeah. I've been waiting on you all day. Thinking about your body all day. Trying to get your body today. Baby, no, do me ba-da-da. You got me all alone and ta-da-da. Now I'm looking for love in Calabar. I thought I was the one you met over. You know me, want no China love. I need a special kind of love. Original designer love. If you got it, baby, holla, holla, holla. You know me, want no China love. I need a special kind of love. Original designer love. If you got it, baby, holla, holla, holla. No China love. No China love. No China love. No China love.
Love it up, baby. Rough it up, take it easy. Let me down, mislead me. Touch me, please me. Cause you know you love it when me put it on. Make it permanent just like a tattoo. From the kitchen to the bed or to the bathroom. Be the teacher, let me show you the class. It's all of this love is just a simple reminder. Cause I know what you like, girl. You don't wanna love people come like China. Yeah, I know what you like,
Really want the China love. I need a special kind of love. Original designer love. If you got it, baby, holla, holla, holla. No, we want no China love. I need a special kind of love. Original designer love. If you got it, baby, holla, holla.
Go.
Thank you very much, guys, for listening to Midnight Rendezvous all the way right now from wherever you are. I'm happy that you're here and you've managed to join me for the last 1.5 hours. It's been lovely having you, and we are all wondering, what's your love language? And even if you delve deeper, if we dive a little bit deeper, what is your sex language? What is your kink? What is your kind of thing that you enjoy? You see, just like we have sex languages, just as we have love languages, we have sex languages too. Yeah. And one of them is fun. If you like fun, you see, if you love spontaneous, you see coitus right there. If you love it in various locations, if you love exploring and spicing things up, then your language is fun. As long as it's not the same place we did it yesterday, beautiful. As long as it's not the same style we did it yesterday, beautiful. As long as it's not what we did yesterday, it's beautiful. Heck, threesomes, you name it. All that kind of debauchery is welcome. Toys, whatnot, yeah? And then there's those who create, as in there's the desire language, yeah? It's if you like to be chased or pursued, then your sex language is desire. Yeah? You're the kind of person that will get turned on by strong eye contact and direct flirting. You see those kinds where if you know someone likes you like that, at least sexually, you just breach their personal space just by a bit. Breathe the same air for a moment right there, maintain eye contact, and that right there. If they squirm, you won. If they didn't, there's that meltdown that people have, those who like desire as a sex language. By the time you're done, with that mindfuck, she'll be long pleased before her clothes even hit the floor. There's another one called pleasure. There's you see, there's people who love to give and love to receive pleasure. Yeah, then pleasure is definitely your sex language. You see, for some people, they'd rather see you fulfilled in every sexual way, but they're still fully dressed, but they've achieved what they wanted to achieve and they're happy. So if you're a giver or a receiver and your language is pleasure, sometimes this is for you. Yeah, you can mix them up, by the way. Sometimes it can work that you can have 3 or 4 or all of them. Heck, you're wild if you have all of them, and wild is good. There's people who prefer patience. Yeah, you see those people who would rather wait, who would rather even if you get there, they'd prefer the slow, sensual kind of intimacy. The one where you don't take them too fast. You don't just. It's purely. At this point, I'd say it's purely in the brain. Yeah, you've had love on the brain. Yeah, this is it. Now, there's people who require all the patience in the world for them to, shed. Probably one of the reasons is probably so that they can shed one wall after the other before you can actually reach their inner core, which is soft, squishy, nice, and ready for you. It's not that they don't love you. It's just that you have to be really, really patient with them. Hear them out as they tell you how fast you can go and where and when. And if you're one of those, then patience is one of yours. Acceptance or celebration. You see, you can only enjoy this kind of intimacy when you feel valued and appreciation left, right, and center in every phase of your life, you see. So that's why you see sometimes some people wonder, hey, huyu ameshinda amepost mtu wake sijui nini, and with paragraphs to boot. In fact, a whole blog underneath a caption. Baka, if there's a limit, they probably hit it. Yeah. So you want to feel desired beyond just your body. You want to feel like you're loved for being a human being, just besides being a piece of meat, of which some people actually prefer that kind of kink, you see. Some people prefer just to be wild and free and be loved for who they really are. And then once you do that, you've broken the barrier between the over the surface intimacy and something very much deeper into their hearts. Some people some people even prefer, heck, if we get into kinks, there's a long list. I wish I remembered, I've tried to look for it, but I wish I remembered that site that tells you exactly which kind of kinks you would appreciate and their names probably. There's people who prefer to be, as opposed to appreciation and praise, some people prefer to be shamed because they've had all the appreciation and praise all day. They want to be told they've been bad boys or bad girls and want to be punished, blah, blah, blah. If that is the sex language, go for it. It's probably categorized under the fun bit there. I mean, the world is your oyster. Open it up. Wear those pearls with pride around your neck. It's nothing about, oh, this one is too, much for me, or like those people who say, oh, if you bend me on doggy, you're treating me like one of your whores. It's I found that quite outrageous. And if anything, judgmental. Yeah, but who am I? Yeah.
Baba, minakuya unihurumie sana, kuomba unihurumie. Kudunia kama mtu anafanya ubaya, ichika baba, niko mtoto yako. Nisilani niko mugeni, nisilani niko mugeni. Usinifungie roho baba yangu moyo.
Tucheze michezo ya kwetu. Tucheze tuvunje kauno. Tucheze michezo ya kwetu. Tucheze tuvunje kauno.
Baba, minakuya unihurumie sana, kuomba unihurumie. Kama mtu analomba sasa huruma, usikie sababu hasira ni mubaya. Isilani iko mugeni, isilani iko mugeni.
Tucheze michezo ya kwetu. Tucheze tuvunje kauno. Tucheze michezo ya kwetu. Tucheze tuvunje kauno.
Oh mama, sorry for where I went wrong. Hey, oh mama, you show me how to love. And so tonight we dance, mama, tonight we dance. In your arms I dance, under the moon we dance, yeah.
Papa sali feti monene, mwana azongio Afrika. Lelo tobinako yimbiko, kwasa, tobina isakele. Amataka na punda, ibomanda yo. Unabanyati moko wakoba, kila mokroso, kila tobina bamba na Yesu. Dombolo ya bakongole, dombolo ba mama, dombolo ba papa, ale mayeno, toke mayeno, ale mayeno.
Tobina manina ya Afrika. Tobina tobalala lokendo. Tobina manina ya Afrika. Tobina tobalala lokendo. Tucheze michezo ya kwetu. Tucheze tuvunje kauno. Tucheze michezo ya kwetu. Tucheze tuvunje kauno.
Yeah. Hey, Victoria Kimani did the thing on that song. Wow. And then she added the spice that is Ferregola, and that was a beautiful banger. You are listening to Midnight Rendezvous. As we're heading to midnight, for sure, I'd like to affirm you that you made the right decision to be here. And I hope you feel the same way, because I feel like I have made the right decision. I made the right decision to be able to entertain you all night and tell you things and listen to what you have to say and what you've commented. I've seen a lot of comments, and I think I've responded through the rants and whatever. But I really, really appreciate that most of you have made it to this show. We're talking about love languages and sex languages, which are pretty much kinks. And you guys know as much as I do that most of these kinks are not really conventional, and they don't have to be. You see, they don't have to be validated by the masses for them to be true. Hey, there's this. I did like a small deep dive, and there's people who've shared the embarrassing stories with on Twitter, I think, yeah. And one of them was like, hey, we have been chatting with this mama. She's older, of course. Yeah, I've always been wondering, you see how old women are like? What are they romantically, blah, blah, blah. And it's not old, really. It's just older. You see, the way they say older, it would mean, heck, 100. But it's probably just a 5-year gap or 10. And it's an established woman who knows her way around things, yeah? So this guy texted this babe on IG, and then one time, the babe asked, hey, Niaje, send me your D-pic. Then the guy sends the D-pic. The babe gets all excited, blah, blah, blah. You know, the whole shebang, hey, I want to see you, I want to do this and the other. Then they meet. The guy is nervous but excited at the same time. And then when they get to bed, of course, the mama had already sent money for Uber or whatever, taking care of everything, even sent excess. You know how generous they can really be, and I'm not talking only in the past. Yeah. Now when they go to bed, the babe, comes clean and says, "Hey, yo, I'm a dom in a way. I like to dominate, and that's my sex language." Yeah. Then when the babe starts tying up, the guy is like, okay, I can play along. I can, do this, I can do the other. In a quick flip of events, the mama brought out a huge dildo. And now the nigga is tied down, facing down actually, hands tied behind the back. And now he's helpless and all. And this is where most people to other sex languages that they have not been comfortable with before. It's such things, because now consent is out of the window. This babe wants to just do anything. And for it to come, for an sometimes situation, you have to really have the trust of the person you're doing this to. You communicate the whole way. You talk about how it will affect them, how they like it. Do they want it slow? Do they want it quick? Whatever, whichever preference they have. Now you see this mama whipped out a proper huge dildo, and just as she was about to shove it in, the guy screamed and begged and, played with her until she was like, okay, fine, I won't do it then. But then again, she found a way to reverse the money. She found a way to reverse the money from her phone while he's still tied down. And goddamn, if this is not one of those embarrassing ones, you see, such kinds of actions are the ones that make people not even open up on a show like tonight. Such kinds of actions are the kinds that make people feel cagey about their sexuality, their sexual preferences, what they want to do or not do. They don't feel hard, especially when someone tells you, okay, don't touch there, it's ticklish. Simple as that. It's just ticklish. I don't want that kind of embarrassment. You know that kind embarrassment when someone touches a ticklish place and you end up snorting with like a bubble on your nose. Yeah, that bubble that comes out of your nose when you snort and laugh when you haven't planned really on laughing. Yeah, and that can be embarrassing. And now someone does that to you and then you see, such things are the ones that might make you feel cagey. about these things. And I get that some of you might not want to share, one on at least live. But I'm sure when we meet, wherever we meet, I'm sure you guys will have a few things to tell me about your stories. That is one among the very many that I've read to you tonight. But hey, these things can be very embarrassing, especially if you aren't prepared or you didn't have full information of what you're getting into. They can be really, really, really embarrassing.
Najua jamaa manzee, watoto sana wamekuwa kicomplain. Sana sana wanasema yani Kenyan men are very unromantic. Nasema pole on behalf of all the men out there. Hii ni Genge Love, inaenda kitukai. Yeah.
Nitakupa jamii, ukinijali. Nimeapa, uwe msanii, unaganji. Sitakuacha. Bora unipe unachonahidi mgenge, nimeapa. Mapenzi bora ya kudumu mimi nawe bila shaka.
Mtoto kwangu ni kama ua, nisipokushughulikia kakuwekea maji naweza kuua. Nashikilia roho yako fiti ka glasi, nisiachilie sabu jo naweza ivunja. Mtoto ni katambi au alua, na nikoshua utamu ya manzi mnaijua. Nyuma ya kila mwanaume endelea kimaisha kuna mrembo anamshikilia na msupport kabisa. Manzi ni kapesi yangu kwa benki na kuhifadhi maisha baadaye watoto wengi. Si unajua ni track noma kwa msanii, feeling yenye unipa nikiwa studio ndani. Mtoto ni kaa hewa ya asubuhi na mapema, juu inakata wingu, smile yako unacheka. Sasa una blush unadai na kudanganya, ukweli ningependa kuomba hizo mbana.
Nitakupa jamii, ukinijali. Nimeapa, uwe msanii, unaganji. Sitakuacha. Bora unipe unachonahidi mgenge, nimeapa. Mapenzi bora ya kudumu mimi nawe bila shaka.
Mtoto ni kanda yangu bala, vile mwishughulikia kuwekea tu hivi ngata. Na rangi ya power ndio ikae smata. Shika inoti kucha tengeza hata. Sura nywele shughulikia na vitu kadhaa. Ndio ndringie maboy wangu vile tu umevaa. Mtoto na joeni kapaka yangu ya nyumba na kupapasa mgongo nywele na sura. Matime unaweza kwa kasi mboa savo. Na jotaki manzi mwingine karibu na boy wako. Check vile unatembea kata usi. Swaga juma ringo na fikiria harusi. Mtoto ni kapete ilenda kuwa nayo. Itakuwa makoi mkono acha rungu ya nyayo. Na joja zoea kuambia mtuka hizi. Genge Love don't experience hizi. Yeah.
Nitakupa jamii, ukinijali. Nimeapa, uwe msanii, unaganji. Sitakuacha. Bora unipe unachonahidi mgenge, nimeapa. Mapenzi bora ya kudumu mimi nawe bila shaka.
Mtoto nika gazeti mwaga nimekusoma. Ukinjamia na kuangushia joke moja noma. Nishakwambia ni kavumbi kishikana na mvua. Inanukia garoma moja tu ya kishua. Ndio we na makokobata ukishajipaka. Mapo yangu kwa shingo tunajipata. Mtoto kwangu we ni kaa kitunguu. Nantoaga machozi na jikausha tu vigumu. Labda za sema joy story ya ikubambi. Hakuna mali naenda hapa na dunga kambi. Jaja mwenye nkoshua kuona yo cheka. Malaika wanamgotea moral vile alikujenga. Kuna vitu mob sana naweza kompea nazo. Lakini hii ndio mwisho ya mawazo. We ni kamstari ya mwisho kwa ngoma. Venye na blend fiti sana inaingiza chorus.
Nitakupa jamii, ukinijali. Nimeapa, uwe msanii, unaganji. Sitakuacha. Bora unipe unachonahidi mgenge, nimeapa. Mapenzi bora ya kudumu mimi nawe bila shaka. Nitakupa jamii, ukinijali. Nimeapa, uwe msanii, unaganji. Sitakuacha. Bora unipe unachonahidi mgenge, nimeapa. Mapenzi bora ya kudumu mimi nawe bila shaka.
See, the thing about that song is just know your kind of love. Is it the Genge Love that you like? Which kind of love do you like? You see, most people want one thing, then you present them with something similar. You see something that you are familiar with. And then they end up just telling you, yo, That was not my kind of love. That was Genge Love by Nonini Genge True. You're listening to Midnight Rendezvous right here on Radio 254. The show is lovely. It's going great. We are talking about sex languages and love languages in general. We can't do the deep dive because we don't have that time. You see, now the thing is, a lot of people, kwanza there's this confession that has come through. There's this guy, he receives a lot of money from this babe every time he asks, no questions asked, no, regardless of the amount, yeah? And then, this is without the sex at all, without the intimacy, it's just the money. And then he ended up collecting up to, 2M in just 3 months. The only problem is that she started controlling his life. And you see that can become a problem, especially with older women. They'd want to be, there's like a domineering factor, yeah, that most men might end up not appreciating much of, yeah. And she wouldn't let him go. She would collect this guy's phone, pick it up and look through it, see if the guy is talking to any younger girls. Jesus. And if she found out, it becomes all messy and saying that nigga is cheating, nigga is, trying to eat outside, eat his cake and have it. I'm going to have his cake and eat it. Whichever way it makes sense to you. Eh? And then the worst was when she told 2 of her security guys to beat him up. Jesus. Because he declined her invitation. And you see, that becomes a whole other problem right there, yeah? So he gets beaten up several times. Then he ends up washing his clothes, her clothes rather, sorry. This includes all the privates, blah, 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 yeah, aunties and whatnot. Cooked, cleaned the house. Yeah, and it's like he was earning that money proper. And even have sex with her whenever she'd want. And by whenever, ikiitishwa unapeana. Man, that thing is crazy. So she used the guy properly, yeah? And I'd say using because this thing was not mutual. At this point, this guy has been intimidated into doing all this, and she started losing weight, blah, 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 getting sick, as in looking as if he's sick. He finally escaped last year, and relocated abroad, and he was relieved. But then again, I wonder, how does it end up here where you see, it starts out nicely, then there's this controlling person that just wants to get someone to dominate over, and not in the sexy, nice way, in ways that will dehumanize you, in ways that will make you, unless this thing is consented to. You see, some people like, there's a shame kink that we are discouraged from shaming, yeah? You don't shame kink. You don't kink shame. yeah, it's a whole tongue twister. But every kink is valid, but then again, it has to be consensual, right? As in, it has to be between 2 people who love what they're doing, who love each other or care about each other in that way, that they have agreed, hey, let's do this because I like it, or let's do this because you like it, and I'd like to, help you or encourage you through your love language or your sex language, whichever which you choose. But imagine getting beaten up by your sugar moms just because you one day declined an invitation. But I see that I think it's quite it's tragic, but to a point, I hope that he got some healing wherever he is. It's really, really tragic that can happen. It's embarrassing, to be honest. We were talking about love languages and sex languages, if you may. Some that might make you kinky, some that might put you off. Some people, you see, for instance, this thing about the person on top of you spitting into your mouth, not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea at all. I don't know how people do it, but yeah, power to you. Power to you and everyone of you who thinks that is something sexy. Probably the things I find cute or adorable or lovely are not the same things you do, and we are all allowed to live and let live. But hey, some things you look at and you wonder, let's maybe it's time we reintroduced shame. Fuck. Yeah, but we want to know that you pick them and you pick them well. If they adore you in that way, love you in that way, take care of you in that and every other way, know that you picked and you picked well.
Hey, oh baby,
Teddy B.
no. Ta-ta-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Oh baby, ta-ta-da-da-da-da-da. Mina kuchagua wewe, wewe uwe wangu, mume wangu, baba ya watoto wangu. Kupendwa nawe majaliwa, kukuoa ni baraka. Mshikaji wangu wa maisha, oh baby I love you. And for you, ninabadili mienendo yangu baba. Baby for you, nina ukimbia ujana mama. Nijenge boma nawe, zayo watoto nawe, wale pamoja nawe, zeeke pamoja nawe. Nataka nijenge boma nawe, zayo watoto nawe, wale pamoja nawe, zeeke pamoja nawe. Chaguo la moyo, chaguo la moyo, na kwenye madhabahu unavong'aa, unavopendeza kwenye lorinda. Oh baby, I knew you were the one for me. Oh baby, you're the one for me. I can tell the way you smile, the way you laugh, the way you talk, the way you walk. Baby, you're the one for me. I swear you're the one for me. Mina badili mienendo yangu mama. Baby, for you, nina ukimbia ujana wangu. Yeah, nge boma nawe, zayo watoto nawe, wale pamoja nawe, zeeke pamoja nawe. Nataka nijenge boma nawe, zae watoto nawe, wale pamoja nawe, zeeke pamoja nawe. Chaguo la moyo, chaguo la moyo, Otile Brown na sana baby.
Chaguo lako la moyo lazima liwe, you see, the one that speaks your love language. This has been a lovely night. You've been listening to Midnight Rendezvous right here on Radio 254 with your host, Adrian Kibai, me, Yani. Yeah. And I love that you guys have been keen enough to follow through. Thank you very much to those who are listening. Alan and who else? I've seen Spec, right? And Leah, right? Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you very much for joining in tonight. I hope maoni ambayo mko nayo najua mtanipatia vizuri tukipatana. Yeah. Thank you also for those who joined the space. It's been lovely having you. And I'd love to do this every other Tuesday as we wind down the night. And maybe I get to be the last voice you get to hear right before you sleep. This last bit, a friend of mine lost his dad, and I'd like to, give him something. Sometimes when in grief, you might not be able to even catch some sleep. Yeah, but this one goes out to him.
I read somewhere that if you accept life, then you must accept death.
Fly, my friend, fly, my friend. Goodbye, my friend. Fly, my friend, fly, my friend. Goodbye, my friend. Oh, fly, my friend. Oh, goodbye, my friend. Oh, fly, my friend. Oh, goodbye, my friend.
At least get in touch, niambie kuhusu afterlife. I'm growing weak, nilijichocha, ati I'll survive. Try calling your number killer morning like I used to. How comes you don't call back like you used to? Guilty na ni mada, sio ati madharau. Inaweza pita few days na ndani kama na kusahau. Don't judge me, but who am I to judge or choose? You feel God my time, wewe u confused. We just lost Raz, Papa D na Sniper. And before you pass, I took what tight ka kitambo. Talia kejani, but public ni ka Rambo. You're the brother I never had and the sister I wish.
Fly, my friend, fly, my friend. Goodbye, my friend. Fly, my friend, fly, my friend. Goodbye, my friend. Oh, fly, my friend. Oh, goodbye, my friend. Oh, fly, my friend. Oh, goodbye, my
Goodbye, my friend. Found my old phone and bumped into your images. You're your reality ni megen. Your laughter nacheza daily in my mind na smile yako. Watu bado wana comment RIP kwa page yako. Return if possible. Nimekumbushwa juzi tu na Charlie ya sis. I'll see you again kama Charlie na Wiz. So na force pombe leo down my throat. Down by force ngwara nikitoka batu. Your memories live forever weak when I talk about you. Broken inside into pieces, damn you kifo. You're the brother I never had and the seas I wish
for. My friend, fly my friend.
Help me find my friend.
Goodbye my friend.
Goodbye my friend.
My friend, fly my friend. Goodbye my friend.
Down and I
The pain is deep, but it too shall pass.
Yeah, that's for sure. These two shall pass, Brio. I hope you got all the comfort, all the things that will make things easier from going from here on out. And may you and your family find all the comfort you need, yeah? Yeah, as we wind down the night, this is Midnight Rendezvous. Again, thank you for listening. I really loved your company. And before I close down the night, there's feedback that I've just received, and it's all about the love languages, you see. And someone has just sent me a whole paragraph telling me, hey, might as well, wind down the night with this one, So someone has said, mi unoki when I realize he's listening to me, like it's so wholesome to know he's present. This shows even more deeply when he does something from a conversation which was really just in passing. When I happen to mention the subtlest of things and he shows up, then another says, my love language is gifting, acts of service, and words of affirmation. So this is how she shows it. And what I like showed to me is quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch. And this, ladies and gentlemen, for you, those who are joining right now, karibuni sana. But we are winding up, and I hope you get to enjoy the last song, and you get to enjoy some tidbits on how you'd want to be loved or how you want to love someone. So, as we wind up, usiku mwema. Let's listen to some good jams as I wind you down to sleep. This is the Midnight Rendezvous. You are hanging out with Adrian Kibai right here on Radio 254, the home of local, by local I mean Kenyan, by the way, Kenyan music. Yeah. Have fun, have a good night, and I hope you are warm and safe and in the arms of someone you love. And if not, kumbatie duve vilivyo.
Nilipata no dem moja California kumwani, wako leo panagana mitu jukwani, nikiroga watu na ngoma zangu kale, niko naye kwa hivyo jua tumetoka mbali. Madem karibu wote walikuwa wamepigwa maball, mtani ndio vajoa tumiga miss call. Anani like lakini ananichorea, CV yake anaona gani katu nitamchomea, lakini pole pole tu ndio mwendo, kidogo kidogo akaanza kunionyesha tu pendo. Nikamtoa kwa hao mali alizaliwa, tukahangaika kutafuta keja na maziwa, yeye pekee ndo alikuwa na 100 tanki wa chini, tukinywa strungi na mahambri za 50. Mwisho katweka kwa SP yake akatupa keja, couple balaya genge na mtu na tesa.
Kila mmoja anataka kujua kwa nini niko nawe, kila mmoja anataka kujua kwa sababu niko nawe, kila mmoja anataka kujua kwa nini niko nawe, kila mmoja anataka kujua kwa sababu niko nawe.
Unishughulikia kweli sisiri jina kanipa Lady B ile mfukoni, niongeze mali kanipeleka safari za mbali kano na ndani ya bahari, mahari ndio nangojea na nani atajitolea.
Jinsi ninavyokupenda mahita wanaponda, napokuwa nawe wanateta na kuponda. Tulia na mimi usisikize wanga, basi mrembo tulia na mimi usisikize wanga. Kila mmoja ataka kujua kwa nini niko nawe, kila mmoja ataka kujua kwa sababu niko nawe, kila mmoja ataka kujua kwa nini niko nawe, kila mmoja ataka kujua kwa sababu niko nawe.
Tunapanga babake na unankata mapanga, roho juu tunaenda kurashia, pigia boy wa my frashia. Kaona sikiza iko harusi besmani wewe, mapanzi wangu mlishikiliaga wagenge, mdomo wadia kupata wajukuu, tupigenge tujaze mtapitisha njugu.
Mimi na we, mimi na we, mimi na we, mimi na wewe,
Jack wapige kelele,
mimi na we,
wapige kelele. Kila mmoja ataka kujua kwa nini niko nawe, kila mmoja ataka kujua kwa sababu niko nawe, kila mmoja ataka
Karibuni next Tuesday. Muwe na usiku mwema. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. It's been lovely having you on Midnight Rendezvous with Adrian Kibai right here on Radio 254.
This is Hendrix Sam.
Roll, roll, roll your boat. Tonight I'm at the bottom and you're on the top. Rubber dabba dub, the beat will never stop. Whiskey on the rocks, you're dealing with the boss, yeah, yeah. Bigger shot, na nikuwashi and dumb. My post to post kifoto. Shadow, my door, ringa kidogo. Lelo, mami yondoko. Bubbly gum, umeshikilia gun. Pale down, di gagan. Umedunga tong na madi gaga. Daga, ring daga. Roll, 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 roll. I'm not just standing with you. Roll, 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 roll. I keep it steady.
She said she love my voice on the stereo. Anapapasa kitafuta signal. Zimeshika toka kichwa mpaka kwa kisigino. She wants some loving, she know that I'm the original. Hide and seek, now you see me, baby, now you don't. She stay me still a heart like a criminal. Make her feel like she never ever felt before. I rock her steady and she already know. Alright, tiki taka mina taka kupakata. She know I'm the don dada. Aenda kunita fata anapanda kama lada. Tumezima mpaka data kani time sando sasa tuna cause mami kasa yo.
Kawono tayuda bet Dicholo gwedhi gikala chocolate Yawajo wadu Matondi soreni Apondi satunya Apondi Gimanyo chimia Apondi Ginorundo wia Apondi Chakimeda kendo Brikicho, erabiro Otundo, asechopo Mama rokelo, atogodo On the so high heels, cordon Brikicho, erabiro Otundo, asechopo Mama rokelo, atogodo On the so high heels, cordon, yeah.